Welcome to LinguaWire English B1. Today, we have two stories. One about new drone attacks in the Middle East, and the other about a political race in the United States. Join us to practice your English every day with the latest episode. For transcripts and quizzes, visit linguawire.com. I'm here with Sarah, our LinguaWire correspondent and expert on world security. Sarah, what's new about these drone attacks?
Hi, Daniel. Recently, the Lebanese group Hezbollah has been using small drones to attack targets in Israel and southern Lebanon. These drones are special because they are controlled by fiber optic cables, which makes them hard to detect by Israel's defense systems.
That sounds serious. How do these drones work differently from older ones?
These drones have a first-person view, or FPV, so the operator sees exactly what the drone sees in real time. The fiber optic cable lets them control the drone without radio signals, which are easier to detect. This helps the drones avoid Israel's radar and other defenses.
How many videos of these drone attacks have been seen?
BBC Verify found 35 videos shared by Hezbollah since March 26. They show attacks on Israeli soldiers, armoured vehicles, and air defence systems.
Have these drones caused any injuries or deaths?
Israeli media report that 4 soldiers and 1 civilian have died in these drone attacks. Many others have been injured.
Is Israel doing anything to stop these drones?
The Israel Defense Forces say they understand the threat and are investing a lot of resources to improve their defences. They are also training soldiers to be ready and more aware of these drone attacks.
Are these drones expensive to make?
No, they are quite cheap. They can be made from parts bought in stores or 3D printed. This matters because the drones can destroy expensive military vehicles but cost very little to build.
What does this new use of drones tell us about modern warfare?
It shows that technology is changing war. Small, low-cost drones can now cause serious damage and are hard to stop. This means armies need new ways to protect themselves from these new threats.
Thank you, Sarah, for explaining this complex topic clearly. Now I'm joined by Michael, our political correspondent. Michael, what happened in the recent political race in Louisiana?
Hello, Daniel. A candidate supported by former President Donald Trump, Julia Letlow, defeated the current Republican Senator Bill Cassidy in a primary election. Cassidy had voted to convict Trump in his 2021 impeachment trial.
Why was this vote important in the election?
Trump called Cassidy a disloyal disaster because of that vote. Letlow and other Trump supporters said Cassidy was not loyal to the Republican Party. This made the election very competitive.
What happens next in this election?
No one won more than 50% of the votes, so Letlow will face John Fleming, another Trump supporter, in a runoff election in June. The winner will then compete against a Democrat in the general election.
Can you tell us more about Julia Letlow?
Yes, she is 45 years old and the first Republican woman elected to represent Louisiana in Congress. She won a special election in 2021 after her husband, who was elected but died before starting his job, passed away.
What did Letlow say about Cassidy's vote?
She said people in Louisiana shouldn't have to wonder how our senator will vote when the pressure's on. She suggested Cassidy's vote was a betrayal of the party's supporters.
How many Republicans voted to convict Trump in 2021, and how many are still in the Senate?
7 Republicans voted to convict Trump. Now only 3 remain in the Senate: Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Bill Cassidy.
What does this election tell us about the Republican Party now?
It shows that loyalty to Trump is very important for many Republican voters. Candidates who support Trump seem to have an advantage in elections, especially in places like Louisiana.
Thanks, Michael, for helping us understand this political story. Let's review some useful words from our first story about drones. First word, defense. Defense means protection from attack. In the story, Israel is improving its defenses against drone attacks. Example, the castle's walls were strong for defense against enemies. Second word, detect. To detect means to discover or notice something, often something hidden. The drones are hard to detect by radar. Example, the smoke detector can detect fire early. Third word, injure. To injure means to hurt someone physically. The story said several soldiers and one civilian were injured by drone strikes. Example, she injured her leg while playing football. Now, the phrase, to face off. This means to compete directly against someone, often in a serious or important contest. In the second story, 2 candidates will face off in the runoff election. You can use it when 2 people or teams compete. Example, the 2 teams will face off in the final game. Another example, the candidates will face off in the debate tomorrow. This phrase is common in sports and politics. It shows a clear competition between 2 sides. Remember, to face off is often used when the competition is important or exciting. Try to use this phrase when you talk about contests or challenges in your own life. That is all for today's language recap. Follow Lingua Wire for the latest daily episode and build your daily language habit with us.